Matthew chapter 25. At that time, the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 virgins, who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish, and 5 were wise. The foolish ones took their lamps, but did not take any oil with them. The wise ones, however, took oil in jars along with their lamps. The bridegroom was a long time in coming, and they all became drowsy and fell asleep. At midnight the cry rang out, "Here's the bridegroom! Come out to meet him!" Then all the virgins woke up and trimmed their lamps. The foolish ones said to the wise, "Give us some of your oil, our lamps are going out." "No," they replied. "There may not be enough for both us and you. Instead, go to those who sell oil and buy some for yourselves." But while they were on their way to buy the oil, the bridegroom arrived. The virgins who were ready went in with him to the wedding banquet, and the door was shut. Later the others also came. "Lord, Lord," they said, "open the door for us." But he replied, "Truly I tell you, I don't know you. Therefore keep watch, because you do not know the day or the hour."
Have you ever marvelled at how light works? You cannot smell, touch, or see light directly. It is energy and electromagnetic radiation. Light particles, called photons, travel like a wave at the speed of light, and when they land, they bounce. When visible light hits a thing, a portion of the light is bounced back towards your eyes. When this reflected serving of photons collides with your retina, you see the thing it bounced off. You never see the light itself, only how the light changes after it hits something and reflects back. If light has a purpose, it is to show your eyes the things it bounces off. What we have in Matthew 25 is a story of light. No matter what happens in this story, it has a meaning of light. At that time, the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. It sounds like a story of 5 smart and 5 not so smart unmarried young women invited to a wedding. There is a lot of cultural oddities going on here. Calling women virgins is a big cultural difference. I, for one, invited no young, beautiful virgins to my wedding. That is not the only cultural oddity going on here. They had their lamps, and along with this, they were meant to have enough oil with them to run those lamps. I had no lamps, oil, nor anything flammable at my wedding. I did not even have the more modern torch and batteries for any of my wedding guests. Another oddity is that the bridegroom was a long time in coming. By my understanding, it was up to my bride to be a long time in coming to the wedding. Do not let these cultural things distract you from the meaning. It is not a story of virginity, oil, lamps, or midnight runs to the lamp oil store, or even the story of a wedding. It is a story of light, whatever that is, and waiting for the bridegroom, whoever he is. To understand this story, look at the things that are the same then and now. Being prepared, waiting, getting drowsy and falling asleep, being wise, being foolish.
Hello, you boy in the corner there. You ought to be a Boy Scout. You're a fine-looking fella, and I know you'd make a jolly good backwoodsman by the look of you. You're ugly enough anyway. And you gal there, no, I don't mean you. I mean the pretty one behind you. You ought to be a girl guide, you know. Oh, you are one. Oh, I beg your pardon. That's quite right. Now go on and tell all your pals to come and be girl guides like you. I'm very glad to see you there. Thank you all. Good luck to you, and I wish we may meet again. Thank you.
A few cultural differences there, but a big thank you to Robert Baden-Powell for the Scout motto drilled into me: be prepared. The Scout must prepare themselves by thinking and practicing how to act so that they are never taken by surprise. I love the Scouts. When it comes to living as a Christian, how well are you prepared? Childhood friends Emma, Olivia, Ava, Isabella and Sophia joined the Girl Guides at a young age. It was drummed into them to be prepared for all things in life. So when they get the invitation to a once-in-a-lifetime wedding celebration, they know what to do. They are maids of honour. Their job is to light the way for the bridegroom to enter the celebration feast that begins his wedding. This is a privilege. So they gather and prepare. Charlotte, Mia, Amelia, Harper and Evelyn are also chosen. They also know what an honour it is to be asked to do something like this. They also know what they need to do. I have to say though, they are a little bit foolish. They got straight onto Instagram with a photo of the invitation. They immediately tweeted their followers the amazing news, #weddingchicks. Both sets of friends went out dress shopping early, purchased some comfortable yet elegant shoes, got a spray tan the week before. On the day, they all got their hair and makeup done. However, Emma, Olivia, Ava, Isabella and Sophia knew what they had to do was more than just an honour. It was a privilege, yes, but also a job, and they needed to prepare for this. Even this simple, symbolic gesture of providing light for the bridegroom as he walks towards his celebration at night was as important as any other personal preparation they could do. In fact, they got together and talked about it and came to the conclusion that the first thing they needed to do was get the lamps ready with enough oil, because the job they had was actually the most important thing to prepare for. They had to light the way for the bridegroom. Charlotte, Mia, Amelia, Harper and Evelyn looked fantastic. If I could be honest, the so-called foolish girls looked a little better than the other friends. Everyone had got their hair done at the same salon, but there was something about these girls that was stunning. They looked a little bit more confident and comfortable in their dresses. As they stood near the other girls, you could tell that the young women not invited to the wedding with this special honour were a little envious of these five. Of course, there is something here that other people could not see right now. The first five friends had prepared the not-so-glamorous oil, wicks, trimming knives and lamps. Now came the hardest part, the waiting. This was something that separated the 10 girls. Charlotte, Mia, Amelia, Harper and Evelyn loved this part. They sat around and joked, taking selfies and tweeting #weddingwait, #lookinggood. As the night wore on, they each retreated into their own worlds and started thinking about their own wedding and wishing they could make the bridegroom wait instead of this nonsense of waiting for him, #poor bride. Emma, Olivia, Ava, Isabella and Sophia also loved this part, but for completely different reasons. They loved this tradition of suspense and anticipation. They knew the wedding was important, but they knew the wait was just as important as the wedding, just as important as their job of lighting the way for the bridegroom. So as they waited, they spoke together of the importance of marriage and of all the things that the wedding celebration pointed towards in married life together. As the night wore on, they too retreated into their own thoughts of marriage and how they might prepare for their lives for this future. As happens in all these situations, you get drowsy and fall asleep. The suspense gives way to routine and personal needs. The adrenaline of the invitation and your own preparation gives way to the normal patterns of your life. It is late. It is only natural that you doze off. This story is not about getting drowsy and falling asleep. That will happen. The normal patterns of life will take over from our focus and anticipation of Jesus. What the story is about is what we do while we wait and what our preparation does for us. All 10 girls went to sleep. Only 5 did so prepared. Emma, Olivia, Ava, Isabella, and Sophia were wise. This story is not about the oil. This story is about these girls' wisdom in the preparation for the bridegroom. Their wisdom was in the preparation for shining the lamps to usher the bridegroom into his wedding celebration. The wisdom of these girls is on their preparation for the job of holding the light. It is about the flame. It is about the light. You never see the light travelling through space, only how the light changes after it hits something and reflects. The purpose of light is to reveal the properties of the objects it collides with. The preparation of these girls was to shine a light on the bridegroom. The wisdom was in their preparation to shine this light. The purpose of the light is the thing the light reveals. As you may know, Jesus clearly sets up what he means by light in his stories. Matthew 5:15-16. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Light is the way you live your life, and the light, its purpose, is to shine on God and give him glory. The wisdom of these girls was in that they were prepared. While they waited, no matter how late the night got, they were prepared to shine this light as soon as it was needed. When it comes to living as a Christian, how wise are you? Do you see this life as a preparation? When the call of the wedding comes and your life is over, are you ready? Charlotte, Mia, Amelia, Harper, and Evelyn were foolish. They did not have enough oil. The oil is not faith. The oil is not good deeds. The oil is not the Holy Spirit. Going to the shop at midnight is Christians trying to do enough good deeds before the end of their life. These girls did not prepare. There was no light for them to shine on the bridegroom when his time had come. They spent their preparation time doing all the things that did not matter. They looked good. They were foolish. They never understood the point of the wedding to start with. Our whole life is a preparation of the wedding between Christ and his church. The final bonding between God and his people. Do not be foolish. as a Christian, do not waste your life only to find out at the end, when you stand ready to shine light on Jesus, that you were never a Christian in your life. Jesus started by saying, the kingdom of heaven will be like preparing, waiting, getting drowsy, and falling asleep. He ends by saying, therefore keep watch, because you do not know the day or the hour. If light has a purpose, it is to show your eyes the things it bounces off. If this story has a purpose, then it is to show you the light you hold up to shine on Jesus is your own life. Just like you cannot see light, it is there to show you what it shines off. Your life is here to shine on Jesus and show him and light him up. That is all that matters by the end of your life. When your life comes to an end, you need to ask yourself, what will Jesus say to you? Like the girls, you will say, Lord, Lord, open the door for us. But he replied, truly I tell you, I don't know you. Of course, he did know them once. He invited them after all, but when it comes to the wedding, they are no longer involved. I invite you now to this wedding.